And we do start with this breaking news coming out of Robertson County this morning. A man lucky to be alive after being brutally beaten up by several people outside of a Springfield Waffle House. And I'm not talking about 2 or 3 people. We're talking like a dozen plus. News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy has been talking with investigators up there. You were telling us, Dan, that there were some good Samaritans in that Waffle House there behind you that heard about this fight, came out, and may have saved this guy's life.
Yeah, detectives are telling us that there were several people just having a late night meal at this Waffle House last night when they heard about this fight. So they walk outside and sure enough, they see this man on the ground, and witnesses describe 5 to 15 people attacking this man as he's on the ground, kicking him, punching him, they say, even hitting him in the head with a milk crate, according to eyewitness statements. Now police are trying to track down who's responsible for this. There is surveillance in the parking lots, and they're going to be getting that in a few minutes. But according to a sergeant with the Springfield Police Department, this all happened about 11 o'clock at night. They got a call to 911 about a fight, but by the time they got here, it was just the victim bloodied up and on the ground. The suspects, they say, had already left the scene. They did speak with the Good Samaritans. They say there were several of them. When they left the restaurant, that scared off the suspects, leaving in a silver Chevy Impala and a white, newer Nissan Altima. Back out here live this morning, I'm told police are going to be at this restaurant any minute now to speak with the manager and get the surveillance from those 2 cameras pointed in the right side of the parking lot where eyewitnesses tell me this attack occurred. Should that not provide any good video, they're also hopeful maybe this camera in a parking lot directly across the street can also give them some evidence of what exactly went down in this parking lot. As for the victim, I'm told he was first taken to Northcrest Hospital, but his injuries were so severe he then had to go to Vanderbilt University Medical Center, where he's waking up this morning the victim of a brutal attack at this Waffle House, and no suspects have been arrested as of yet. Reporting live in Springfield, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
Dan, thank you very much. And some breaking news we've been watching also this morning. See this little red car there? It's torched. It went up in flames overnight, moments after the driver sped off from a traffic stop. News Channel 5's Sophie Nielsen-Colding has been working this story all morning long in the Sylvan Park neighborhood, and it didn't start there. It actually started at this traffic stop, right, Sophie?
That's right. I'll tell you how it all happened. This car belongs to the people who live at this house, but this is what's left of the car that was set on fire this morning. You can see bits of glass and the tire marks from where the car was towed. And if you come over here, you'll see the trash can that was also set on fire and all of the contents that were in it. And police believe that these contents were put in there right before it was set on fire. You can see part of a shoe, some glasses, a flask. So police trying to put all of this evidence together right now to find out who did all of this. It started, as you said, Steve, with a traffic stop, or an attempted traffic stop. A police officer tried to pull over a car for driving erratically, but that car took off. And about 30 minutes later, the police officer came upon a house fire in Sylvan Park. What he thought was a house fire, turns out it was the car he just tried to pull over. When they finally put the fire out, they noticed the Ohio license plate, and they ran it. It had been stolen out of Ohio. So now police are on the lookout for the person who was driving this stolen car overnight and who they think set that car on fire and set this person's trash can on fire. If you come out back to us live, we actually were able to talk to the woman who lives here early this morning. She says she was fast asleep when a neighbor called her and said, "Your car is on fire." She looked out and it wasn't her car at all. So certainly a startling night, a startling way to be woken up for the woman who lives here. Reporting live in Sylvan Park, Sophie Nielsen-Colding, News Channel 5.
All right, Sophie, thanks so much. And breaking news out of Kentucky now. A state police officer has been involved in a fatal shooting. It happened yesterday in Moorhead. It's over in Rowan County on the far side of the state. Police responded to a home to arrest a 22-year-old named Matthew Brewer. Police were able to make contact with Brewer outside. He ran back in, though, grabbed a gun and pointed it at the trooper who shot Brewer. Brewer died on the scene. KSP is investigating. We'll keep you updated on newschannel5.com. New this morning, a silent alarm leads police to an ATM and someone trying to break into it. We've learned that Jaleel Jones was the one trying to break into that machine at Fifth Third Bank on Highway 100 in Bellevue. He gave up, though, when he couldn't break into the machine. So he left. Didn't realize that he was caught on a live camera feed because as soon as he started tampering with the machine, it kicked on, that feed did. So police were able to quickly track him down to a nearby parking lot at McDonald's. He's facing several charges this morning. A driver's in the hospital after a bad crash in Springfield. Smoky Barn News showing us some video of that overnight crash. It's between a white pickup truck and a little red Mini Cooper. They collided at Mount Zion and Thompson Road, sending the truck into a tree. The driver airlifted to Vandy in serious condition. The other driver of that little Mini Cooper was not injured. The cause of that crash is still under investigation. Some tragic new information now about an accident that shut down Highway 76 in Clarksville yesterday. A toddler involved in that crash has died. Investigators tell us the little 2-year-old was riding in a car that for some reason crossed the center line, hitting, of all things, a cement truck head on, causing it to flip over. That's the truck on its side, obviously. The crash is still under investigation. Happening right now, police are looking for a couple of suspects wanted in a double drive-by shooting in Nashville. Remember this from yesterday? This was our breaking news story that Dan Kennedy was on. 3 people led officers on a high-speed chase down I-440. They bailed off at Hillsborough Village and plowed through a stone wall in a complex there. It was along Woodlawn Avenue, and 2 of the people in the car took off. One person was taken into custody but was later released. So they're still looking for those other 2. They're wanted in a shooting that happened Tuesday night near J.C. Napier Homes. 2 people were walking down the street when they were shot. If you know anything about that chain of events, call the Metro Police Department. There's some incredible surveillance video we want to show you now. Suspects wanted in connection with a Murfreesboro pawn shop burglary. They're still on the run. There's a $5,000 reward being offered for info on the case. Let's show you the video. Police say around 15 firearms were taken from the TC Pawn and Loan on Mercury. There they go. They break through the door. You see the glass shattered. Here they come. Yeah, this was October 6th. Surveillance video shows the 2 people with their faces covered. They break that front door. Then they go to the cases, start smashing those glass cases in with a tire iron. And then they start grabbing guns and they run out of there as fast as they can. Contact the Murfreesboro Police Department if you know anything about that break-in and those guns that are out there on the streets now. Talking politics and some developing news now. The probe into former state lawmaker Jeremy Durham's campaign finances continues. The Registry of Election Finance voted unanimously yesterday to expand its search into Durham's campaign finances relating to issues with money that Durham placed into trust accounts for clients of his former title business. Officials have already found a nearly $200,000 discrepancy between Durham's campaign finance reports and his bank accounts. Meantime, the race to replace Jeremy Durham in the state legislature is underway. So they were going to have a big debate in Williamson County last night for the candidates. However, most of the candidates didn't show up. Only Democratic candidates, Holly McCall and Courtney Rogers, went to that debate. McCall looking to fill Durham's seat. Both women answered several questions about state issues instead.
My background is actually in communications and public relations, and I cannot imagine a better skill set to have these days when politics has become so divisive. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that you cannot listen enough and you cannot over-communicate.
I know what a lot of people are telling me when I'm knocking on doors, and that's that we've got traffic problems, that we want to protect our schools, things like that. And so I'm curious to see what else people are interested in and what else they're having issues with.
All right. Well, hopefully for the next debate, everyone will be there, and maybe they'll have a bigger audience, too. All candidates are expected to be at that next debate next Thursday at the County Administrative Complex in Franklin.